Ms. Nidhi Bawashe, Project Manager, Developlex, and Charter Member, TIE, Delhi NCR, Nagpur, India. Nidhi, please join us. And everyone, please welcome our panelist with round of applause, Mr. Rajendra Inani, Vice President and Segment Head, Water and Smart Cities, Tata Projects, Mumbai. So please join us on the dais. Mr. Tanish Shevani, Founder and CEO, Bharat Carbon, Pune. Mr. Nitin Labshetwar, Chief Scientist and Chair, Environment Resource Planning and Management, CSIR, Neri, Nagpur. Mr. Prasanna Deshpande, Enterprise Architect, TCS CTO Group, Nagpur. Mr. Aditya Bhatia, Center Head, Tech Mahindra, Nagpur, India. Mr. Nitin Rakesh, Director, Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Symbiosis International Dean, University, Nagpur. Everyone, let's welcome our panelists and for available on the stage with huge round of applause. And let's get it started with a great energy for panel discussion. Thank you so much.
Hello. So thank you so much, Amit, and for the introductions. So since morning and since it's a day 2 of Global Nagpur Summit, and we have been talking about the social track, social entrepreneurship, technology, carbon footprint, and then we'll be coming up with some great points which has been discussed in the morning sessions. And if someone would really like to take their venture to European market, so what are the measures that they need to take care? So with that, if we talk about the sustainability, so in a very generic term, and we all have been hearing the points, and we have been listening from so long that where the present needs are met, and we need to keep those resources for the future generations, as well as without harming. I mean, they should also be able to utilize the resources which we have as of now. So we have been listening this from so long, and the role of a technology. So how vital the technology is playing with the sustainability, the goals that we have. The UN has announced the 17 goals that we have already. So with that, I would like to pass on the first point to Mr. Rajendra Inani. So since Tata Project Mumbai. So basically, if we understand, if we talk about the smart cities, again it's urban. So urban people or the urban localities, they face a lot of challenge, right? So whether we talk about the air quality, whether we talk about the water, whether we talk about the waste management or the other areas, right? So I would like to understand, and we all wanted to understand on that point, so how this emerging technology, specifically we are talking more about the AI and IoT, so how we can take the leverages and what are the challenges that we face with this?
Thank you. So I just give my background and come to the question. So right now in Tata Projects, I'm into building large infrastructure projects like sewage network across the cities. So toilet in your home gets connected to a pipeline, and that sewage gets flown through gravity to a sewage treatment plant. At sewage treatment plant, a lot of IoT devices already in place. They check all quality of water, sewage, chlorine, and do the conversion. SCADA, you must have heard of. So there are automation tools which takes input from those IoTs, and then it ensures.
Right.
The whole idea of sustainability is in the city, when something is flow in the drainage, how much water I can recover from it and use it for other purposes. And that's also, even a larger project in many cities have been funded for this. I'm handling a project in Vizag, where HPCL has funded this whole project for the city, because in HPCL they are in shortage of water, and they found they can extract up to 40 mld water per day from doing the sewage treatment of the cities.
Yeah.
But when we come on ground, so the technology part, theoretical part, project planning part
Yes.
is good. But still in India we are lagging on implementation part. The readiness of cities and the readiness of people for conversion of. So the biggest problem in a sewage line, you have to dig up all the roads and put a pipe over there and connect it.
Right.
And those projects takes years.
Yeah.
No. All the AI and IoT. AI will be the next step. Once IoT collects the data, AI will build upon knowledge on that. That will come when this basic infrastructure project have been done. I give you another example, not directly with the water. In 4 cities, Nashik, Pune, Noida and Ludhiana, those 4 cities I am operating an LED street light project, where in PPP model, about 5 to 3 years back, we have with LED street light and reached 60 to 70% energy saving on their current spend. And the capex, if you, I am trying to see after establishing this infrastructure, and all these 4 cities are operational. Many other cities come to see. The Pune was the first project which was successfully implemented, street light, and you see the implementation. Noida city, people see it. Apart from Delhi, still have problem with the street light, but in Noida city, and we have taken in technology where we have given mobile apps to all the citizens. They go near any pole and they see light is not functioning, just take a picture of that pole. But the geolocation of their mobile will help them identify which pole location it is, and alert goes to the wireman. The next level of AI coming into it, we are doing analysis where repeated problems are coming, in which pole. There are notorious cities where some people are removing lights from there. So now I am creating a history of repair on every pole. Then I create a heat map where more faults are occurring. It could be due to inaccurate or uncontrolled supply, incoming supply of electricity, or it is somebody stealing there, or the quality of how many changes can take. So this is what AI helps me later. I am seeing a big opportunity which I am still doing experimenting. So in every city I have 1 lakh pools in my inventory. There I plan to put a small camera, wireless camera, because in safe city lot of projects started across India, but they are not yet reaching the goal. Your cameras are only on the chorahas. Imagine a scenario, because street light poles are average 100 meter or 50 meter apart. Imagine even a low resolution camera on every pole, and that data is going somewhere. And this is our human mentality. Even in your society, if there is a CCTV camera, the theft occurrence will be much lower. Even in a shop where there is a camera, nobody will try anything. Imagine a scenario when the whole city have 1 camera just on top of that. The woman's safety and all the issues. And then those cameras, even not taking a direct feed, but capturing something, later the AI can help trace a person in any part of city and moment.
Yeah.
That kind of innovation can come.
Right. No, so and even you talked about the 40% and even the Noida and the other cities that you talked about. I'm sure like it will really help like not only the metros we are talking about, but as well as the tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. Yeah, rightly said. So so on the same note, we also would like to understand, though we have talked about the positive side of what we are doing as a smart cities as well as on a water. But I'm sure there would be a lot of challenges that, integrating such solutions and, so anything that you would like to, share on that front, and, what are the challenges and how your project or the Tata project that are planning to overcome or to address those challenges? Yeah.
Biggest challenge in India right now, all these projects are being executed under government. And in government, still the policies are L1 tender. Whoever quotes the lowest, there are quality and QCBC and those comes into play, but still, and then CTNS, you must have heard of. all the police station getting statewide implementation of CCTV. Every police thana having a computer. Now, after 15 years, it has come to some shape where you have your Aadhaar authentication. But the speed of implementation in government is going very slow. There should be some forum, maybe some intellectual way to come where it can be privatized and outcome-based model. So like the light project I am handling, it is completely PPP where municipality does not invest. They don't need to invest any capex. In large city with one light street light, it is feasible. But in small cities, still and the local governance issues are challenging.
Right.
So ease of doing business at government level will help propagate.
Will help propagate. So, as we are already talking about the energy and conservation, so I would like to ask few of the points to Dr. Nitin Labshetwar sir. Like mostly, so since you are from the needy and clean and affordable energy is one of the most important part for SDG goals, and that around the world we are talking about. And it do addresses a lot of global challenges, addresses the challenges which are there. So in the Indian context, so like how do you see, or what are your opinions on that front? What are the challenges in Indian context?
Okay, good afternoon and thanks for having me here. Very quickly, I would mention that at NEERI we need to do all the contradictory job. First, the industry comes to us for environmental impact assessment and the clearances, wherein obviously the government priority is to promote the industry and never suggest that, okay, this is a polluting industry. Of course, we need to suggest the measures. At the same time, we have been obviously getting a lot of issues and projects referred by the Honorable Judiciary, the NGT, the Supreme Court, wherein there is a problem of pollution. And third thing, with the challenges and what do you call it, new pollutants and emerging pollutants coming in, we are supposed to do a lot of research and technology development. Having said this background about the institute, coming to your question, I'll broadly say that we all are aware of development environment nexus. A couple of decades back, they added like development, energy, environment nexus, and then we got another definition. So we are at a crossroad, and I would say it is a little difficult time that when the India is starting its growth story, we have a huge global and unfortunately blessed with local problem like wastewater, solid waste. Coming to the energy, there is no doubt whatsoever that we need a lot of energy, okay, and also the renewable. But very unfortunately, our requirement is 1,000 gigawatt. And for environment, what is important? That in 2030, you will be using 500 gigawatt of a fossil fuel energy, which you are using 350 gigawatt. So meeting the best options, that's one thing. But at the same time, I personally feel there is a great opportunity for India to look into, and government is looking into, industry is also looking into energy efficiency. The PLI and other schemes is a huge prospect because we are yet to come to, on personal level, you are yet to come to that level of comfort and lifestyle, which is very difficult to degrade in terms of, say, there will be plenty of opportunity to develop the India-specific technology. The only, as a scientist, I have been in this domain for more than 30 years. We worked on a lot of technology development. The only one thing I would like to point out that still we feel, I had an opportunity to work in other countries also. When we see the TRL 1 to 10 technology readiness level, and there is a in between TRL 3 or 4 to 7, we call it a valley of death, wherein we do a lot of prototyping, which normally the R&D institutions are not having expertise. So I see a strong need for more industry R&D institute cooperation, because I haven't seen China. They have miles-long facilities only for prototype development. You go with your some know-how and they will do it in 1 month they will create. So there are a lot of prospects to also develop indigenous technology to handle these things. But we are, I'm sure, going to have a fair amount of energy blend. And one more thing I would like to add is the geopolitical situation will also
Yeah.
determine what your energy mix is going to be.
Exactly. And I think the audiences who are here and the points that you have shared, I think everyone should look it as an opportunity to that will really help everyone, I mean, who are the part of that industry, to take it as a leverage, to take it as an opportunity. So yeah, so with that, so since Tanish, as you come from that background, like the Carbon is your venture, and since Sir also talked about the carbon footprint and the energy, again we are talking about the energy and the requirement, and so with that, like since you come from that background as well as technology is also one of your forte, and your venture is working towards towards those direction. So so how with this technology, or how we can leverage it, and in the morning Ashish ji also talked about, if you wanted to venture into the European market, so obviously whatever the venture you are into, you should have the zero carbon and zero emission, right? So with that, how we can leverage the technology which is there, maybe AI, IoT, big data, or any other technology which is available right now. So yeah, over to you on that front.
Perfect, thank you. To give you a brief introduction first, so Bharat Carbon is an end-to-end decarbonization platform where we have a straightforward process defined which is enabled with AI and automation that helps you collect data, helps you analyze data, helps you measure, helps you do ESG reporting, helps you build a net zero strategy, and then enables you to be part of our marketplace where we provide those solutions. So to your point for energy efficiency, that is where AI and IoT can help a lot, where when combined together, where AI being the analysis engine and IoT being the monitoring system to collect real-time data, becomes a tool that can efficiently save energy in a lot of hard-to-abate industries. Now, going ahead, where the automation and AI factor comes in, and big data as well. India as a country, there is a lot of data, there's a lot of data that exists in physical documents and a lot of other data sources, but it's not consolidated in one place. So now if, for example, if I go to an automotive company, they have a lot of documents sitting, like physical documents sitting in their organization. Some are far ahead, some are adopting IoT technology out there, and then a lot are using ERP systems provided by the OEM provider. So considering that there's so much availability in data provided out there, and that if this organization is global as well, the data complexity just becomes larger to manage. So what we leverage out here is one, using AI OCR, where we have an ingestion process where you can scan physical documents and the data is validated and then put into the platform. Second is IoT devices for real-time monitoring of systems, which includes your machine, water, electricity, and even waste up to a limit. Not the categorization of waste, but the quantity of waste generated. And then we have this advanced AI engine where we're using all the data sources that we're compiling to basically analyze this further and give you better understanding and insights from it, where you can make better decisions and not only focus on enabling sustainability but operationalizing sustainability.
No, that's really again we see it again as an opportunity for the environment as well as the goals that we have SDG. So yeah, so as we have seen the the environment side of it. So now we would like to understand. Obviously, though technology and SDG will go together, but as in on a technology side, and people who are the part of working and building those technology. So and even technology is also one of the very impactful part of the SDG, as well as technology is a powerful enabler. And obviously the solution, the innovative solution that comes into the picture, and then the solution that we have around, right? So with that, I would like to ask a few of the things to Dr. Prasanna Deshpande ji, like how technology can help or helping to address the challenges which we are seeing. Yeah.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for inviting me here. So as far as technology is concerned, so I'll just give you the brief background about me. So I am a part of TCS CTO, CTS Chief Technology Officer Group, and we come up with a lot of innovative solutions. So when we are talking about the kind of technology which is enabling all these things, so we have already started doing that. So I'll just give a couple of examples what we are doing for our clients, and even in day-to-day life, how things are changing for common man. So recently, I was a part of, I am a natural farmer also, so every year I attend AgroVision. So there I saw that it's not, the reason why I'm telling this, it's just to tell you that it's not the case that only kind of big companies are adopting AI and all these technologies, but even the smaller animal husbandry departments and kind of people who are having kind of small farms, okay, they are also adopting that. So there is a kind of, so they have given the kind of example of Israel, but then that they have already started implementing in India. And just 2 people are maintaining that. And how they are doing that? It's just by monitoring the kind of movement of the cattle. So if some cattle is having a lot of movement, that shows that, again, there is something abnormal. They call it that she is on heat, that particular cattle, and they will go and kind of separate that particular animal and then give different treatment to that particular animal. At the same time, if they observe through CCTV camera that some cattle is sluggish and not doing not taking food or not having regular movement, then again they focus that particular cattle and try to find out what exactly is the reason. Is there any infection or is there any fever, something like that. So this is how technology is kind of getting into the common man's life. Okay. So as far as the big companies are concerned, so we are already there. A lot of big companies like the life sciences companies. So they have a lot of strict regulations wherein they have to do a lot of analysis. So that is definitely being done with the help of neural networks, and AI is pretty much helping them. Okay. Now, as Dr. Rajendra said about having a camera, so again, I'll just give the example. In China, they are already having a kind of satellites which are there, and they are doing a lot of smart city related innovations with satellites. And even in India, in TCS also, we have started doing that for one of our clients. So we call it as constellation of satellites. So I am a doctorate in edge computing. So there is a concept, I hope most of you would be aware, that you have a cloud which is at the center, and then you have edge computers which are near to devices. So now we have gone to the next level and we are talking about edge satellites based on that. So I think even that would be government agencies and the agencies where most of the things are onto the this one kind of physical document. So yes, with OCR, you have already mentioned object character recognition technology. We are collecting a lot of data for our customers and we are taking decisions on top of that. So we are already very much in full swing as far as the use of technology is concerned. And again, like we were talking about social entrepreneurs, so I would encourage all of you who are the budding entrepreneurs to use that. And again, it's a kind of open world, and we have so many things which are free these days. So please try to utilize that, and we are there. We can definitely help you. We have a lot of CSR initiatives and then the kind of budding entrepreneur initiatives. So we can definitely help you all if you need any help in any of your technology ventures. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasanna, and I'll come back to you again on the monitoring part which you talked about. So, something with the help of drone if we are working on it and the other technologies. So I'll come back to you on the second part of it. Yeah. So, Aditya ji, so as we were talking about, the technology, so we also wanted to understand what are the prominent barriers. Again, we are talking about the technology, then the sustainability goals, to meet those innovations. So what are the barriers that you see it as, in all the innovation or all the integration? But prior to that, I know that you have one video to showcase everyone.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Let's watch it. I also was given it by my colleague. This is from the Apple. So let's watch it. It will be helpful for all of us too.
Welcome back. Hi,
She should be here any minute.
how's the weather coming? I'm gonna do the offices already required. Right?
Yeah, all yours.
I hope we didn't keep you waiting.
Mother Nature, welcome to Apple. How is the weather getting in?
The weather was however I wanted it to be. Let's cut to the chase. In 2020, you promised to bring Apple's entire carbon footprint to zero by 2030. Henry David Thoreau over here said we have a profound opportunity to build a more sustainable future for the planet we share.
I think our 10 o'clock said the same thing.
They all did. All right. This is my third corporate responsibility gig today, so who wants to disappoint me first?
Well, we've got some updates we're excited to share with you.
Materials, status.
Is there a materials person here?
Yes, we are in the process of eliminating all plastic from our packaging by the
Let
end
me guess. 50 years from now when someone else is left holding the bag?
by the end of next year, actually.
When we're also currently using 100% recycled aluminum in the enclosures of all our MacBooks, Apple TVs, Apple Watch.
What about iPod Shuffle?
Well,
It's a joke. Don't you people make Ted Lasso?
Well, that's a different group.
we're also phasing out leather in our iPhone cases.
What about Brando over there? They phasing you out too?
Oh,
What's next?
Electricity.
Electricity, status.
We're operating on 100% clean electricity.
What runs on 100% clean electricity?
Every Apple office, store, and data center runs on clean electricity, thanks to you and your powerful wind and sun.
And Apple offices are already carbon neutral.
This building is carbon neutral?
Well, yeah, we do it with a mix of clean energy and eliminating greenhouse emissions. It's kind of like if you were
You're
to...
seriously explaining carbon neutrality to Mother Nature?
Right, no, sorry.
You want to tell me how photosynthesis works too? Don't.
Also, over 300 suppliers have committed to using 100% clean, renewable electricity.
What's next?
Transportation.
I'm proud to report that we're shipping more products by ocean rather than air, which reduces transportation emissions by 95%.
95%? Not too bad.
I'm also happy to report that we're investing in projects around the world that protect the Earth's soil, plants, and trees.
Everyone says they're planting trees.
We've planted forests.
Oh, hello.
Where?
Paraguay, Brazil.
What, are you trying to save the tropical savanna?
Yes. And we've also restored mangroves in Colombia.
What else?
Grasslands in Kenya.
Why?
Our aim is to permanently remove carbon from the atmosphere.
What about your water usage?
We've reduced it.
By how much?
63 billion gallons.
63 million?
Billion.
As you can see, we've innovated and retooled almost every part of our process to reduce our impact on the planet. But there's still a lot more work to do.
And there's something else we wanted to share with you.
You're not trying to bribe Mother Nature with Apple.
It's Apple's very first carbon neutral product. I want to see you do more of this.
You will.
When?
By 2030, all Apple devices will have a net zero climate impact.
All of them?
All of them.
They better.
They will.
Okay, good. See you next year. Don't disappoint your mother.
So, the reason I wanted everyone to watch this video, Apple is the biggest company in the world, and that goals they have set for themselves, they are seriously working on it. So what they do is that every year they invite the character who was playing Mother Earth is the person in charge of implementing the sustainability in Apple, and that is how they report their achievement to their stakeholders, to the federal government. So while we hear a lot about sustainability, and if somebody was talking, the gentleman from the dairy, that we are a developing country. So while these goals of sustainability look very very much achievable for a country like us, we have to take both development into the account and also making sure that our contribution to the sustainability is there. So that is very fair. The technology barriers. So we not only have to look from the technology point of view, we also have to look from the social parameters point of view. What is the growth of reducing the power plants from coal, and specifically we talk about India. Every country has their unique goals in terms of implementing the technology and achieving the carbon goals. Much more developed nations can afford to do a lot of things which we as a country cannot do it. But while technology is there and it will continue to be there, innovations in technology will help us to reduce the barriers. We also have to look at the practical problems which are unique to our country, which are unique to our local society. Businesses are becoming carbon neutral. We at Mahindra are also one of the very few companies in the country who are, even Tech Mahindra also is, one of the very few companies, so not being a manufacturing company, being an IT company, it is there in Dow Joint Index for sustainability at 7th level. So everybody is doing their bit, but I think it will take a lot more than technology as well. We also have to invest a lot on the social parameters. We have to do a lot of investment in education, a lot of investment in our farming sector, where we have to produce the results which enables us to reduce the sustainability goals.
Right. No, that's a need. It's not only about the technology or the people working on it. We need to go back from the foundation, and I think that was my the point to Dr. Nitin Rakesh sir. So since sir, you represent one of the very prominent college or the university which we all talked about, the symbiosis. And if we talk about the education as well as right now what Aditya ji talked about and the other dignitaries they talked about. So if we take a step back, so it starts from the education, it starts from the colleges, it starts from the university, where we are, but the generation which is behind us, and that is there because they are the ones who will take this things ahead. So how you see this as an opportunity, as well as how our educational institute should collaborate to reach that goal which we all are talking about, and what are the prominent steps that a college or a university should take to achieve this. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks Nagpur first for inviting us. This is a wonderful topic, sustainability. And post-lunch sustainability can be seen in this hall also, right? You talk about that education is the first one, and in the entire panel, I'll be the last one speaking about this topic in the first go. The thing is, major point is not that industry is not contributing, government is not contributing. It is about the awareness about these goals are not there in the generations we are having. If you talk about any engineering student, they'll talk about some hypothetical project to be developed in their basic learnings. But they will not be developing any project which are related to any climatic changes as a basic, right? Majorly they are not doing. Many good students and many universities they are practicing and it is happening. That is why the change is coming. But we need to change that education pedagogy in terms of the thought process. At Symbiosis, we are highly motivating our students to think about the aspect and opportunity those are being opened through this challenge. Because any challenge in this country or in this world opens an opportunity.
Right.
Right. Opportunity is the name to thought about one challenge there is.
Right.
Any good entrepreneur coming up may have synthesized some good challenging problem and come to some solution. Solution is never important part. Important is how to synthesize that problem. So for that, we collaborated with Chandrapur, the nearby region, the wild area network. We collaborated with the Chandrapur commissioner related to what? We related to the soil pollution, the environmental pollution, the heat radiation in this entire zone. Because of this, the forest life is being affected and also the people who are living and the civilization near that area is actually being polluted. So what we can do? Now, the students can be given some projects out of those type of challenges. And when the students come up with some technology solution, definitely they will also come up with some opportunity for themselves. If they develop some small product, they will come up with opportunity to develop their own venture as well. Always the industry is prominently contributing, as you have seen. Mr. Aditya has given up, Dr. Prasanna has given up, that there are various ways in which they are doing and contributing.
Exactly.
Not only in terms of their business growth, but also as a CSR funding.
Right.
The industry is very much open to collaborate for such type of, but these ideologies need to be brought in the education at the very root level.
Right.
And this need to be understood that the students are need to be clearly shown that this is a problem coming up.
Correct.
And my dears, you need to think about this more than anything else.
Right.
And if you can think of this, then Mother Nature will definitely help you to uplift your life.
Obviously. Obviously. So, please.
So education is definitely crucial. At an event recently in Chennai, I realized this one fact where, imparting education at a root level is important, because if you look at a family as a whole, if I want a family to quantify the carbon emissions and improve their lifestyle, I go to the parents are going to be like, we don't have time for this, so why should I adopt it? But if the child learns something like this in school and then goes home and gets the parent to adopt it, the entire family will be a part of it because they want their child to learn the right skills in life.
Very rightly said. So it's now there's one more point added to what we are talking about. So it's not only the industry, it's not only the educational, it's something when a student, a child, whatever they are learning, either it's in school or in a university. So whenever they are going back, so there should be some backing, there should be a talk about it within the family to talk about the sustainability and other things. Yeah, definitely.
But there should be some sense of awareness
Exactly.
to be met.
Yeah.
There should be some sense of or way of awareness to be given to the students, the young generation, because they are the people who are going to change the face of the country.
Exactly.
Right now, just not based on the technology there, the technology is ever going to changing. They are there as a solution thing.
Exactly.
Right. We need to capture the problem correctly, because Vidarbha is having their own problem, Delhi NCR is having their own problem, Mumbai having their own problem. So if we can capitalize all these problems in a different way, then the solutions can be implemented at any time. So we are having big giants sitting with the technology partners, right? They can always be reached out. The important part is that we need to give a space.
To create the awareness and the space towards that.
Exactly.
Right.
So I give you a very small example. This is a very homely example. I am a Delhi man. Now, last year I came up in Nagpur and I am in love with Nagpur. So Thank you so much everyone from Nagpur. It's a wonderful city. Now, in my place, when I am attending office, coming back to my home, I used to see that my children, they're sitting in some other corner of a house and the entire electricity in the house is completely on. And Papa is there to pay, right? And there is no problem in terms of payment also, right? Things are coming up and they are moving it. But the awareness regarding the use of electricity is not being given in the very house. So what I did, not by telling they ban karo, I told them that you will be getting your pocket money better now. Each month you will be getting pocket money better. Now what you have to do, just you need to manage the electricity bill as per your requirements. So next day when I entered, the house is in a blackout.
Yeah. So now it's
so
the
this
pocket
is
money.
all about awareness which we need to create among this, and this generation is a wonderful generation.
Exactly.
Because they are Gen Z.
Yeah.
Right? They think
And they're
from
the
this
smartest
and they think from the
generation.
smartphone as well.
Yes. And sir, when you were talking about giving the pocket money, you also teaching even your children that how to manage the finances as well. Because obviously at the end of the day, if you are giving $100 or 100 rupees, just whatever, I'm just taking an example. So they'll know how to manage their finances, how to utilize that 100 rupees, and because they understand, okay, if I switch off the light, then I'll get whatever the pocket money I have, 100 rupees, 20 rupees, whatever it is, but then they will understand how to save that money. So again, with sustainability, with this thing, you are also training them with the financial things as well. Yeah.
And if you help the kids visualize better on how much carbon emissions they're causing by leaving the light on, that makes it even more effective.
Yes.
So under Bharat Carbon, we're creating a B2C app as well for students, for families, where the entire family can be integrated. Obviously imparted with the student first in schools and colleges, where they can quantify the carbon emissions with multiple food items, mobility, electricity, all those aspects. And then we have gamified the situation with sustainability challenges. So, and with the coins that you earn from it, you can buy products from more sustainable marketplace. So again, I think the more visual it is and the more gamified the situation is, it's more appealing to Gen Z.
I just want to add one thing. So all the technologies and the benefit will reach to the people because it is for the people. So the participation of people is very important. We talk about all cleanliness, and I give you one example. I have grown up in a very small village, and where the government school I used to go, whoever comes first in the school has to clean the floor and put the tapatti around. But today it is unthinkable. But if a school come up with a plan that the school will be cleaned by students only, initially even parents will oppose it, should I send it? But that generation will keep their city clean forever. Right. That kind of thought process need to evolve. If you go to Japan, there are no sweepers in the offices there. Even when I went as a delegation and worked there for some time, in India any foreign guest coming, he is just treated like a Raja. But there on Friday morning, 7 AM, there is a buzzer, hooter goes off and everyone search for the jhadu and everything, and everybody start cleaning the office for 15 minutes, and that's their weekly cleaning of the office, that's it. So that's why you find that Japanese, if he sees something lying on the road, he will pick it up and put it in the dustbin. That behavior building or the value building is not yet in place in our society, and maybe then those all outcomes of sustainability are clean. Right now, even whether I should put my thing in the blue box or the green box, sukha or gila kachra, 50% of the people don't know. Only the behavioral change in last 10 years has come कि वो अभी जाके कचरे के डिब्बे में डालने का थोड़ा सा एहसान कर लेता है. Still we see if no one is around, कोने में डाल दो, बाद में कल clean हो जाएगा. So we have a long journey. IT will not help. IT is only monitoring tool. AI or this thing.
Just to add to that, I think one good thing has now started. We have started incentivizing the forfeits. Nothing works better than incentive, whether for students or citizens. So we have a lot of, you can see, particularly go in Mumbai and Pune, in Pune there is Aadhar Poonawalla Foundation, which have actually put up a lot of Kiscos, wherein actually you put up the 10 plastic bottles, you get a coupon in return which can be redeemed. And if you put it 100, there is a limit of 100. If you can put it for 100, you get more coupons. So I think those type of effective schemes have also been now started running. So as I said, technology is just one part of it and a very small part of it. Behavioral change across, starting from the education institutes till the citizens till the corporates, is the only way which is going to sort of help it to make it a movement.
Just add to that, because even the plastic bottle is a big menace. If you search on the internet, I started with another NGO in Mumbai, a project called Surahi. Surahi, you all know, old days. So instead we picked up glass bottle of 500 ml and we started distributing it through corporate funding. And in all over that NGO events, anyone comes, we give him one gift as a free. It cost us totally 25 rupees. And we put big bottles. Anyone coming, you want water, refill it. And we encourage them, you go anywhere, fill it at home and take it. It is far better than this plastic bottle where it was packed, in what environment condition it was kept at camp. And how much that awareness, if we remove this plastic bottle from the society itself, big help to the environment will happen.
Exactly.
Also an interesting insight, speaking about cleanliness, when us Indians go to other countries, if there's a dustbin with 3 different options, we will think 3 times to figure out which one to put it in. But in our own country, when we have those 3 different options, we will just choose the first one that's easiest to us.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Definitely, the ability to take ownership for your actions somehow automatically comes to us when we go to another country, but it's not there when we are in our own country.
Exactly. So I think we really had a great. Okay, you want to. Okay. So I think. Sure. Thank you, sir. So since it was really a great discussion and we really talked a lot about the different aspects from the different industry, people from the different backgrounds. So I would like to open the floor. But yeah, before that, Tanish, I think you have some deck to showcase. There's some slide you wanted to showcase. So I think let's have that 2 minutes of showcase and then let's open it for the participants.
Okay.
So Pintu, can you do the presentation that we shared?
I'm just going to showcase our company really quickly, just to give you a brief idea about what we do. So our company name is Vishwa Carbon, and that's what we do. Going ahead, can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So the way we position ourselves is the Earth's ECG, where we are making the reference to the health of a human and comparing that to the health of the Earth, where we are making the Earth's environment cooler and greener. That's what it stands for. Now going ahead, this is our global ecosystem, where we have Vishwa Carbon at the top, and then we have USA Carbon, GB Carbon, and Vishwa Carbon, which is a policy-making framework which you can enable countries to adopt, which don't have those policies as of yet. And then we have Bharat Carbon, which is India-centric, where we enable the aspect of collective action and policy with this technology. So if you see, we adopt those frameworks, which are all globalized frameworks, which you can not only manage your ESG compliance, but your entire decarbonization process within one product using APIs, AI and apps, which enable your entire ecosystem, like if you take an automotive company as an example, it's not only the OEM that has to decarbonize, it's their tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers that have to decarbonize. So with the technology that we have built, we enable them to be part of the same product ecosystem. Going ahead, this is the process that we have defined. So our objective is to enable you to become net zero, and these are the steps that you need to do to achieve it. Starting with carbon accounting. So just to give you an understanding, you are here, where is the base year. As a company, you will start here. We enable you to do carbon accounting, which is automated data collection and automated analytics, which is AI driven, where we enable you to do all 3 scopes, scope 1, 2, 3. We have ESG reporting, which again has global frameworks and global emission factors. Net zero target is somewhere where we enable your stakeholders to be a part of it. We enable the SDGs in the net zero strategy as well. We enable you to set targets, and then we provide, then the next step is where we provide you solutions on policy solutions, decarbonization solutions and carbon credits, where we enable you to analyze what fits best for your organization in terms of how you need to decarbonize. And then we also help you with monitoring and maintenance, where after every solution adopted, we provide the impact assessment report as a part of the process. And then the circle continues till your entire ecosystem of the company's part of your business network are on the path to net zero as well. And that's how we help you achieve net zero. So this is definitely a tool that is built for the long term, because if you see the SDGs is broken down, there being 17 SDGs, it's broken down into short term, mid term and long term. Now if you see the short term is where the collective action is enabled, the mid term is where the policy has to be set, and the long term is where the technology will enable both the collective action and the policy to materialize. Now going ahead, this is what we do. So we have built domain-specific knowledge bases. We have different process flow emission factors for these industries. So right now we're covering most hard-to-abate industries, and those are the ones that we have upcoming within our product. Our goal is to definitely, the cost barrier being a very high barrier to entry, because if you see most large companies, like the top 1,000 companies, is where the technology is being adopted because they have the money to spend that. Now our goal is to enable one, to help them to adopt this to save the cost which they are utilizing for this, and the second is also to provide this kind of technology not just only to the top listed companies but to the MSMEs, because 90% of the business ecosystem sits out there. So our goal is to help you save up to 70% in time and resource costs, and up to 50% in compliance and operation costs. Going ahead, these are a few highlights about our product. So we have 80% automated workflow for data collection, where we have AI, apps, API, and the AI OCR, bulk upload. We also provide you with a CEO app, so your stakeholders can get a different view and just a snapshot of your emissions. ESG reporting, which is again AI enabled, which helps you fill your disclosures faster. So if you see, just these two processes takes you about 6 months minimum to do the full data collection, analysis, and then the reporting. With the product that we have, we are trying to see how we can bring that time down to less than a month. Now going ahead, we help you build a net zero strategy on the 5 parameters, where we help you set priority, we help you set targets, we help you enable your stakeholders to be part of the questions and understand what material topics are important to them. Then we help you build a strategy, and we then enable you to explore a marketplace where you can take industry-specific solutions as part of your action plan. Now going ahead, we have the implementation, where we provide you carbon credit, solution and managed services. Within the managed services, we also help you build policies on the ESG front. And then we have the monitoring and maintenance, this is where we adopt the IoT aspect. So IoT aspect comes very briefly in the carbon accounting aspect, one to collect data, but it's more utilized from the monitoring and maintenance aspect, because it helps us reduce the chance of greenwashing claims that companies tend to forge in some documents. Now going ahead, this is the ecosystem that we have. So we have a dynamic licensing model, which is quite interesting. So if you see, if you're a company like Toyota that exists on 3 different countries, you have to report on 3 different frameworks, and you have to manage your ecosystem on 3 different frameworks. So what we do is, we have the product that we have as a multi-tenant architecture, where it can go down all the 3 tiers in the supply chain and can scale up to 100,000 plus accounts. And with the different geographies, the correlation between the frameworks can be formed. We also have the different metric systems that are involved in each of these countries and the different global emission factors that are adopted in each of these countries. Yeah, now quickly, this is just the team that we have. This is our entire tech team, and these are our subject matter experts that we have. So we have Dr. Rajesh Viniwale from CSIR Niri on our as a subject matter expert as well, and Dr. Pawan Kulkarni, and Ashish Kulkarni ji and Vineet Dhawan as part of our team as well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhanush. So now the floor is open for the participants. Any questions? Yeah.
I wanted to understand, first of all, my name is Tejas. I wanted to understand, like, there hasn't been any talks going around regarding the groundwater level in NAGPUR, because over the past years I've been observing and reading some reports about depletion of groundwater level. With everybody of you talking about sustainability, I think it is also a platform in which we can discuss how we can increase the groundwater level, because it's a high time. Though the central government has created a separate ministry for that, but still I think there has to be a lot of work needed in this area. So any one of you can answer this, or maybe shed some light on what experiences do you have, how this can be improved, right? Because we are on NAGPUR First Summit, so we'll focus on NAGPUR First.
The water expert is already gone actually. And then Niri, like in environmental disciplines, it's highly interdisciplinary, and nowadays we talk about the micro specialization, like for example air pollution, so I'm specialized in automobile air pollution, but I'll try to address here. Our water mostly comes from the like secured or reservoirs, water reservoirs. But there are multiple reasons. One is the extraction, obviously, which is in urban area not much, but then yes, in the rural area extraction is very high. The bigger problem in the urban settlement is the recharge. Okay, recharge is a big problem. You know that we are just constructing building, and the recharge potential of any place goes down quite linearly and exponentially because of that. And also quality of like road constructions, wherever there is a possibility of that they have taken care of water recharge, like the pavement is made as eco-friendly. Okay, if we maintain that quality, there is a recharge potential, in fact. Okay, and there is a watershed for every area. So in your watershed, we need to plan, and planning is being done, but we lack in implementation sometimes. So managing the construction activity, whether it's a road construction or the building construction, we should take care of this aspect as far as recharge is concerned. Otherwise, for me, that we get sufficient amount of rainwater, it should be enough if we increase the recharge, as well as we need to improve our water use efficiency. We are quite poor into that. You see the data of leakage in the pipeline, even water use efficiency. Although we always complain of having less amount of water, but our per capita water consumption in the cities is not bad. It's pretty high. So water use efficiency, I will say, is another aspect.
I'll just add one thing to it. Mr. Inani was here and he was talking about how you can basically take the responsibility. I mean, each one of us, right? We have to be responsible, even though there is a ministry which and the department which has to take care of our water needs. But unless until we take the responsibility individually, he was talking about recharging, right? Now, tell me, there are so many societies, so many individual houses. How many of them do rainwater harvesting?
if you go to your society and say that, okay, I need you guys to do rainwater harvesting, okay, that one step itself is enough to recharge your water table in your own area. So all of us will have to take that responsibility and basically tell them what they need to do. So word of mouth, I can guarantee you within 1 year the water table will be recharged. NAGPUR.
Very true. And there are norms for the new construction for the rainwater harvesting.
Yeah, but that hasn't been like I just constructed my house like 2 years back, and those norms hasn't been like my contractor wasn't ready to follow those norms, but I have to tell him that if you don't follow those norms, I'm not going to give you.
So the sir has given you the message. It's our individual responsibility to do that.
I did that.
At least nobody can stop you implementing rainwater harvesting.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions from the participants, from the audience? Yeah, please.
Not a question, but to discuss the building a solution for enterprise customers and you're targeting your business as well. But I think most of the ecosystem comes from small businesses and naturally don't have awareness about water, electricity, waste, extra management. Any plans to serve it when you develop so much that some frequency is available to small businesses so that they become aware, they use that, and you want from something bigger enterprises?
No, definitely. So, yeah, no, definitely. So, I think in the morning, Sahil mentioned that India is more like a test market, and if you actually want to earn money, you go to the US. So, that's, if you see, we have USA Carbon and India Carbon. India Carbon, we have a freemium model where small businesses can come to carbon accounting scope 1 to 3, understand their emissions, and even build a strategy. The ESG reporting right now doesn't apply to them, so we're giving them the modules that make sense to them. And for the enterprise client,
as you are representing education of the institute here, so can education institutes in similar lines work on projects which will kind of become source available to businesses to comply with this? I don't know how this can be done. You are sort of
I'll give you a very small example, as we are doing it on ground level also. Service learning, we implemented at the curriculum level. So what we do in the service learning, we have tied up with multiple NGOs of Nagpur, right? And students, they are visiting NGOs for various reasons, right? Like they are visiting orphanages, old age homes, many other different dimensions of NGO they are visiting. My point of view is that during this process, we are not just asking a student to visit that NGO. Can they identify some technology problem existing in that NGO where they can come up with some solution instead of, for example, they come up with a small app which can connect all the colleges to that NGO. So their real-time need can be catered just by using that app. Now what fundamental things can come up, the student will learn how to develop that app. If the app is of any use or can be a potential growth, then it can become a business as well. So this will give a chance of a student to develop something, right, and contribute to the society in some sense. And they get aware about all those parameters, because for developing that app, they need to collect all the required data. And when they'll go through that data, they will understand that the situation of the environment, what it is and what they are doing actually.
I think we have one more question, right? From here? Yeah.
So this is not related to environment, but it's a little bit personal. So you all are very experienced than me. I'm just 21 years old, and I just want to get one advice from all of you, which is really important for you, which will give to your maybe for anyone like. So I just want to give some advice, just one.
So advice in terms of what advice?
Related to anything, not just about.
There should be some point. Advice in terms of education, in terms of you wanted to start your business, and you wanted to take some career, option. You need to share that point here. Advice, but what advice?
Just all the things on learning and
maybe as a conclusion of the subject.
a student. Yeah, you are a student of what technology or what? Technology. So what you're doing exactly right now? Computer science. So have you identified anything which is related to environment or sustainability before this particular gathering? Have you identified anything?
Mostly to carbon means carbon emission. So I was thinking about making something to reduce this, but my environment is not that much like I want to. But when I came here and see those two people, I felt like I want to be from one of his friend circle or.
You can be and you will be definitely. When you are having an interest toward this carbon neutral and other, I submit that you just have a complete study on this, what this problem is, how we can come up with carbon neutral things, how we can identify the environment for this, how we can build our product with carbon neutral, right? If you will go through this entire understanding, at that time also you will get opportunity to index some problems in it.
One more advice I'll give you, you have just seen Mr. Tanish has shown you something, okay? It's extremely important. Many people are not aware about the resource efficiency, what is the footprint of it. For example, what is the volume of a cup of a coffee? Can you tell me? 200 ml? Roughly. How much of water is required to make a cup of coffee? Can you guess? It's milk and coffee. If you have black coffee, you say 200 ml. So if I ask you what is the footprint of, if you drink 1 cup of coffee, it is 200 ml. As an engineer, if you apply your mind, then you will feel कि मुझे उसको clean करना पड़ेगा, फिर वो पानी कहाँ से आएगा? Now I'll give you a shocker. Depending on the process and all these things, the water footprint of a cup of coffee could be 50 to 100 liter. Because you need to also think how the coffee beans are grown. Okay, the water footprint of a shirt is about 3,000 liters. Somebody was promoting that we should use cotton shirt. But what is more important is a responsible consumption. If you throw your shirt, which is a trend, the life of the shirt used to be, I think, 3 years and 4 years. Now it has gone down to less than 1 year and probably 6 months. 1 year, 6,000 liters of water is required for your shirt. So you are a computer engineer, take that app, sensitize the people to have their individual footprint, and that way you can really contribute a great deal, because now it is individuals, and the government is promoting the LIFE program, Lifestyle for Environment, and that's probably the ultimate way we are to contribute. And keep on learning your science and computer science, of course, as a professionalist.
One more thing is that the sustainability, there is a whole new sector which employs people. It is an upcoming sector, it needs people, it needs people who are aware, not necessarily trained on the skills because they themselves don't know what skills will be required. So do one thing, aware, make your friends aware that there is a life in sustainability also.
Just one piece of advice from my side as well. So see, AI is very pervasive. So if you're not alert, like as Sir mentioned, then like in your gaming applications also, AI is very much used. Okay, and now just recently, so an Oxford dictionary has added a word in their dictionary, and that is called as brain rot. Okay, that's nothing but that if you go on doing the kind of social media or go on playing game, your brain stops and you just go on doing things. So it rots. Okay, so the only piece of my advice is that just keep your eyes and ears open. Okay, and go on doing things. You will fail, but that's perfectly fine. And one thing you should remember is that you mentioned that you came from a background which was not maybe very conducive, and you want to be one among us. Okay, see, every situation provides an opportunity, and it is never good and never bad. Okay, we sitting here have some positives, but have some negatives also. You sitting there have a lot of positives and very little negatives. Okay, so always think about that. Okay, and think equally. You will do wonders. Thank you. You asked for one. I have got more than
I'd like to add something as well. So I'm not too older than you compared to everyone else on the panel. I've been 21 very recently myself. So two things I would tell you. One is from the education aspect. See, sustainability itself is a ever evolving field. Once you start researching into it, there's a lot of problems that you will identify, and you have to choose one that you feel that you need to solve. Definitely will give you some amount of climate anxiety as well, because there's so much happening in the space, but that is one. And second is, from a business standpoint, focus on rapid experimentation. Now with AI tools coming into the picture, everyone is a developer. Your computer science degree, if you don't even have one, there are tools where you can just with prompts generate your own software at the end of it. Where there's a software to do your front end, software to UI UX, software to back end, software to deploy as well. Now with these 4 tools, the speed at which you can create is very fast. So your barrier to entry is broken completely. So if you upskill yourself with the knowledge quickly, you can rapidly experiment, put it in the hands of a customer, see how it goes, and then you can decide whether it works or not, and then keep figuring out which one works. At some point, the more you try, you will find the idea that clicks for you.
Thank you so much, panelists, and thanks for sharing the wonderful insight, the knowledge regarding, the background that you all come from, and the technology, the support, and we do even talk about, the awareness and everything. So I'm sure this insights will be very helpful to every member, every professional, to, even we talked about the opportunities as well. So I'm sure it will be very helpful for everyone. With that note, thank you so much. Thanks everyone. Over to you, Amit.
Okay, let's clap for the panel one more time, please. Amazing discussion. And this year's theme for GNS was around environment. So we wanted to make sure, though we are more focused on technology, and we are seeing technology is having a big impact, right, everywhere. And as we heard on the panel, right, if we want to be protecting our environment and achieve SDG goals, what all we should be doing. So again, amazing discussions. One thing I would say we should remember is how we can contribute personally towards these things is going to be something which is my personal learning. And we need to behave responsibly in all the things what all the experts pointed out. The change starts with you, right? That is what we all need to remember, right? With that, so I would like to formally thank our speakers by giving a token of appreciation. I'll request our international chair and co-founder Shashank Rao to please come on stage and maybe felicitate all our speakers one by one. So to start with, please, So we have Tanish from Bharat Carbon, amazing technology. Thanks for coming all the way from Pune and doing this. We also have with us other members, Dr. Prasanna from TCS. I'm sorry, I'm going randomly. Okay, next, our expert from NEERI, Dr. Labh Shetwar. Let's keep clapping, guys. Amazing job done by the experts. Then Dr. Nitin Rakesh. And the last one would be after that. Aditya Bhatia from Tech Mahindra Nagpur. And I would request all the, once we are done with Aditya sir, I'll request all the speakers to join us, right, for a photo. But first, before we do that, right, let's thank our amazing moderator and host for the day, Nidhi. I mean, amazing job, right? You have been busy from the morning, right? So, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, that is one part, right? See the dedication. She did not have the lunch. Thank you once again, Nidhi. So I'll request all the speakers, right, to come for a group photograph, please. And maybe I'll request if others want, right? I mean, once we finish this photo, you all can join as well. We would give some more recognitions like these to our volunteers, couple of them. Yeah. Ashish sir, you lead photo here. Please come. DJ, please come.